What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Elevation here with another episode of the JBP Elevated, where we speak on the Joe Budden podcast and all of his co-hosts on and off the pod. First, let me start with a couple of apologies. Apology number one, Ish, Imani, J1, possibly Melissa. I got overboard last video. I let my emotions cloud my judgment and dictate the emotions and passion and topic that I spoke about in my last video. Normally, I'm able to play back my videos and nod my head and exception and execution, but this last video, I wasn't able to play it back because I felt icky. That's not the lane I want to take, so let me clear the air on that right now. I apologize for going overboard on y'all. Apology number two, I have to apologize to Melissa directly. Being that Ish just called me stupid and I reacted the way I reacted, I have to give you more credit and put more respect on your name for being able to take the jokes in stride the way that you do. Because throughout the entirety of my life, every time somebody jokes and it strikes a nerve with me, I go on the attack. I'm not able to just sit back and allow people to clown on me. So as a content creator, I have to acknowledge my faults, and I apologize, and I will get better moving forward, and I promise change behavior. But speaking of apologies and change behavior, let's segue right into it. Joe, you are an issue on your own podcast. At first, I was viewing it in a positive light because, hey, I'm making critiques. The community, us as a community, we're making critiques and I'm expressing them vocally, and Joe is implementing them on the show or speaking about it, letting it be known that he heard these things that we're saying. So I'm hyped. But at the same time, when you are chastising your quote-unquote subordinates or co-hosts, however you view them, when you're chastising them publicly for us to hear constantly, that also doesn't make for a good audio experience. I'm just being honest. The whole dynamic shift whenever you're on the pod with them versus when you're not on the pod with them. And then when they do get loose, because I'm going to be honest, those racist jokes, I laughed. Even if I was offended by them, I laughed because they were funny, and we have to learn how to laugh at ourselves more. Yet here you come, chastising, scolding, scorning them for having that joke and that type of dialogue on the podcast. And then your whole mood changed. Your mood soured, and then they started walking on eggshells around you again. This just happened on yesterday's pod. So you have to dial it back. Or one thing that I told my brother, because it happened with my son and I've seen it happen in real time, I have to be able to scold you to the point where you are able to obtain what it is that I'm trying to teach. Because if not, I'm going to lose you because you're going to feel disrespected. So I have to be stern without yelling. I have to be able to get my point across without embarrassing the person that I'm telling it to. You're at that point where every time they hear something from you, instead of being able to implement it, they are embarrassed because you constantly do it publicly. I don't chastise my son in public anymore. I correct him in private. You applaud in public, you correct in private if you want real change behavior and you don't want antipathy that comes behind it. And they're not going to display it to you vocally because you pay them. But they are expressing it every time you're around them. There's a reason we were kind of championing how they were potting without you. You are the face, you are the voice, you are the main person that we want to see. But whenever you sour, everyone is affected. So you have to get better at that, Mr. Button. But anyway, the reason that I had my little mea culpa and I made sure I issued out my apologies is because I'm seeing what karma does in real time with Flip and Melissa Ford. Flip started off on top of the world. Every chance he got or every opportunity he got to say something to Melissa to the effect of her failing, he took his opportunity. Hey, Melissa, your audio was bad. Hey, Melissa, are you going to get any production? Hey, Melissa, you're spending money on your team. Hey, Melissa, what's going on with your set? Hey, Melissa, this. Hey, Melissa, that. echoing what it is that people are saying on think pieces, on spaces, things that I've said, things, of course, Danny says. And she took it all in stride and kept pushing. Her views started off in the hundreds range. I was looking at her views, trying to humble myself in real time, like, damn, I'm killing Melissa Ford in views, and she has way more subs than me. But I kept my mouth closed because I've seen this shit happen. What's happening currently, I've seen it happen time and time and time again. You better humble yourself before the earth does. 4 episodes. I find this shit very ironic. Who else just had a 4-episode run? And who got poached from that 4-episode run to join another 4-episode run? The person that took the biggest L in this is Shampoo, Mr. Shammy. Because I expressed my feelings on that a while ago, that Flip and Shammy were in cahoots to ruin Danny's podcast from the jump. And this is karma biting both of them in the ass. They had a 4-episode run. And as I mentioned, the clip that I put in the beginning, you didn't sign the end date. This is Master P and 50 Cent to me all over again, because you signed to the JBP. You supposedly signed a 10-episode airing of Improper Improv 2. You wanted all the control of the show. And you learned in real time that, damn, I really don't have the pull that I thought I did. At least to Joe's audience. Joe knew you were going to fail this whole time. In his eyes and in your eyes. Me personally, I would have kept pushing, which is why I have to champion Melissa. She took all that ridicule and kept going. And now she has 2 videos that are rivaling Flip's videos, if not surpassing. I'm not just looking at the views. I'm looking at the engagement that other YouTube channels. I've seen Melissa's video everywhere on the manosphere. Everywhere. They're cutting her up. But they had to go to her page to view that shit. And when it comes to virality and engagement, that's what I'm looking for, not just the views. Here's another segue. I hadn't seen Dessous in a long time. I see Meryl everywhere because I'm following his YouTube page. That nigga's funny. I'm following him on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn with Mello. He's doing his thing. I'm like, just out the blue, where's Dessous? I checked his page, or whatever it is that he's got going on with Scotty Beam. I didn't even know they were a thing. He's getting hella views on his shit, but there's no engagement. And I didn't even know he had a podcast. But everybody know Melissa is doing a podcast now because she's getting all the people to clip her shit up. And I didn't see your shit clipped up but one time. And it was when Danny was clowning on you. I didn't even want to talk about it because I seen the downfall of it already, off rip. But I thought you were going to have the pride to keep pushing through it. And you didn't. Ian and Joe didn't come to your ear and say, we don't want to go forward with this. Your pride said this shit. You shut this shit down. But a contract's a contract. I still need 6 episodes of something, nigga. And I see the direction you're going on your channel. Hey, JVP might be going in that direction too. But as I said on Melissa Ford's video, hey, Joe, you better get on that opportunity to get her under your network, nigga, before it's too late. Before it's too late. Because I'm seeing right now in real time that Melissa still has cachet in this industry. I didn't believe it, but I'm seeing it in real time. Melissa is still her. And we all know how you feel about the female demographic. You better put her under your network before it is too late. Because once Melissa sees that she could take off, she's gone. I'm going to find a way out this contract. And y'all see that joy shit that's happening right now? That's nasty, right? We've all seen the treatment Melissa received. Don't let her put 2 and 2 together to get the fuck up out of here. I'm keeping a heavy eye on the success of Melissa's podcast. I'm going to be honest with you. But like I said, I have to put all the respect on her name. Even if I don't like her style of potting, I have to put respect on her name because it took one insult for me to jump off and jump silly and lose my cool. And she has turned dirt that shit on a daily basis. We see Ish lose his mind. Even though I think Ish is one of the better people at taking jokes because they clown on him constantly. He may shut down, but vehemently shuts down. And no one clowns on Joe anymore because of his sourpuss attitude. When Flip gets clowned on, he always wants to get back on everybody, and no one takes shots at Parks. So, salute to Melissa Ford and Flip. I know you're finna bounce back doing something, but what? Like I told you a couple months ago when I felt that Joe fired your ass, you don't get to leave this time without providing me something, nigga. And when I told you that your face was the right that you gave away, I'm still looking forward to see what they use your face for on the merchandise that they're pushing. Ugh. But I don't know what I'm talking about. These are all just my opinions. I'm opining on subjects that I have no knowledge on. Let's let that be clear. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. I'm sorry for the somber attitude. I just had to clear a couple of things up and express my opinions. But I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Y'all make sure y'all get on the ground if you ain't. Peace.